peeking through my window. 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act mic. I was fighting war day and night. Who's that peeking through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act mic. I was fighting war day and night. They keep it real with niggas, man. Most of y'all fraud. You like a fraud. I put some niggas around for your dog. Light at your man. Put the dagger right in his heart. Playing my heart. Definitely I'm playing it smart. And if I don't get you, then I'm coming for your brother then. For his mother then. It's kind of crazy. Revenge selling land. Mixed up words. Niggas selling land. Coming in. Out of the water. They was fishing in. I was peddling. I'm fucking racing the block. We was peddling. Why you want to make it wrong? The problem we was peddling. I remember fraud if I was on David Letterman. This is UBK and the time is last. When Christ come back, this is the last. Got the Johnny Walker in me, and I'm out of my bag. I'm on my 5 excursion with the gun and the mask. That people through my window. 40 on me like a Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act mic. I was fighting war day and night. Who's that peeking through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act mic. I was fighting war day and night. Hey yo, call me Nacho. Fucking doing crazy like this was on the block though. Righteous on the block though. Beat I catch a ride, then I always beat the top though. Beating with my story till I stuck it in the top though. Who's that creeping through my window? I ain't 50 complication, I'ma keep it simple. Burn the old black to the tempo. You can find exactly what you looking for in limbo. You don't got it in the experience I live from. 2036, I see my brother with his big gun. Every day I think about the trouble that I slid from. That's why I call the white man the devil, cause he is one. It's not a motherfucker, I think you should just be dead. That act right, gave a nigga reason to live. If you rescue him, you take it back or you renege. See him creeping on Newport, the sweet sick. Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act mic. I was fighting war day and night. Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act mic. I was fighting war day and night.
With the competition, I'm bored with it. Stepping up for a board mission. I keep 2 boards with it. Don't feel like I'm bored with it. We're keeping the board with it.
All right, clap it up. All right. Shalom, Israel. Shalaki. Shalom, Israel. Bear with me 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, shalom. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua Baruch Yahweh Shemar Alfam B'Shem Yahushua. Priest and Officer 1000 Yedaya, and this is the Friday Lashawan Qadash class. Now, filling in for Priest and Officer of 5000 Marah. He teaches a powerful class on Friday. He'll be back next Friday. We also want to say rise again. You know what I mean? Priest and Officer of Qadash. You know, our brother, powerful brother in this troop. We're going to see him again. He's going to rise again. He stood 10 toes down in this street, unlike your pastor, unlike your imam, unlike every wicked Negro in the world that tells us that we don't have to go. I was listening to a brother earlier today, Israel, that was telling me, well, learning the Hebrew is not necessary. You know, I had a sister say, well, when we get in the kingdom, it's going to be a time and a place for that, which is nonsense. Nonsense. And it goes to show you just how destroyed we are as a people, where we're like, well, it's going to be a time and a place for that. I don't have to learn the Lashawan Qadash. I don't have to learn the Hebrew. Meanwhile, you got no problem continuing in your oppressor's language. You got no problem continuing into the customs and ways of these other heathens. This is what happens to a people, man, that have been destroyed as we have been. And I'm going to go into that tonight. Tonight we're going to go into the alphabet. We're going to go into some words. And we're going to go into Genesis, because you know people like to say, well, we all one body. We all supposed to be one people. We all come from Adam. But here's the thing. As we all know, that the Most High's chosen people was us blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, man. The Lord only chose us. Salaki. Salaki Israel. Shalom Christ. Come. Yeah, I'm actually loud now. So. Oh yeah, come. Come. Slow, Chris. Yeah, it's right. Both sides. Yeah, come, Chris. Both sides, Chris. Now, real quick, Nicole, give me, before we go into it, before you write the alphabet on the board, can I get Deuteronomy 7-6 real quick? I just get that. Because here's the thing. As the Most High chosen people, man, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we need to understand that we need to get back to our heritage, our culture, our identity. And learning the Hebrew was a part of that. The thing is, we are so conformed to this world, conformed to Esau society and all of these other nations bring out, that we completely forget, man, that we're not supposed to do what they're supposed to do. The Lord chose us, man. That Hebrew is ours. We have a culture. We have an identity, man. And here's the thing. The Lord does not want us to be with these other nations neither. You're glorified going to learn another language. Ain't nothing wrong with going to learn Spanish, going to learn Creole, French. But here's the thing, Portuguese. But our language, the Lashawan Qadash, is important. It is important. And we're going to go into why it's important. First of all, we got to understand just how special we are as a people and who the Lord chose. You got that from?
Oh, God. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. Mm-hmm. For thou art an holy people.
But thou art a holy people, man. The holy meaning separate. We are a separate people. Read on.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Unto the Lord thy God. We are separate unto the Lord. Holy is not what you think it is. The Lord made us to be separate. He separated us from these other nations. Officer Nicole taught a powerful class yesterday on Islam. Just to comment on that. Let them Arabs go over there and speak, Arabic. You look silly. You Negroes out here in Philadelphia, y'all look silly on 52nd and Market with that dress on. Talk about shalom wa alaikum. Nah. Here's the thing, brother. It's shalom. How about learn our actual language? Coming back to our identity, our culture. Let the Arabs have their culture. If they want to beat their wives, have sex with each other, molest children, let them do that amongst their own people, man. Go ahead, Nicole. You got something to bring up?
God, sir, I studied Arabic for some time in college. It's damn near correspondence to Hebrew. So when you actually look up, when you actually learn Hebrew, you like, well, damn, this is just like you said yesterday, it's a carbon copy of us. The Arabic language is just a carbon copy of Hebrew. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? The way how the characters, like the alphabet is similar. It's just that the same way like the Jewish man,
right? They
have the conjugate words. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Different words. Symbols and different. Different symbols can change a character sound.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the same way just like the Jewish man.
Right. Now, what you're saying is heavy. You know what they also do? They'll tell you, well, Hebrew, it comes from Aram. It's Aramaic, which is a lie. Hebrew comes from Eber. And we can go into that as well. Here's the thing, too. We have to let these other nations have what's theirs. You going out there, and the crazy thing is, even with us speaking English, Officer Marad brought this. I remember being a young man, Officer Marad's class, bringing this out, and it blew my mind that English not even the oppressor's language. It's not. Yiddish is. English is a Japhetic language. That's what the Japhites spoke. So you'd be like, damn, well, the oppressor not only is the devil that the Bible speaks of, he truly is a vagabond. And look how silly we look when we go after his culture, when we glorify everything that's in his world. The same thing with them Arabs. You sitting up there wanting to learn Arabic, but that's not your language. Don't you know that Ishmael is still jealous of us to this very day? That's why they can go and look at what we did and everything that's great and everything about us, and they can go and copy and take what they want for themselves. That's really all they did. But here's the thing, not understanding that this Bible right here is the source of all our records, man. And we have to get back to it. And we have to get back to our identity and know, and more importantly, what our language is. Now, can you read on?
God. All right. It says, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
Man, listen, that's self-explanatory. To be a special people. Ain't nothing special about glorifying the Arabs' culture.
Right.
Wearing them dresses. Ain't nothing special about that.
Right. Ain't
nothing special about the oppressor over there in our land speaking that Yiddish. Nah. It's just not. It's not. First of all, man, if I could slap in the car. Well, the water. Here's the thing. When it comes to our people, we envy what the oppressor has, as Proverbs 3:31 says. The scriptures say, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways, man. We cannot choose the way of the oppressor. Us conforming onto Islam, us conforming onto the culture of the East Indians, and the Hindu and all that, us conforming to Catholicism, and even, how could I forget about Amari Stoudemire, civil ass? You got silly Negroes like Amari Stoudemire, former NBA player that played for the Suns and the Knicks. He's over there right now in the process of becoming a rabbi. You see how destroyed we are as a people? You got a brother in Amari who understands that we are the Jews, but he just can't let go of Esau's culture. He believes that Esau was just the master teacher, that he also was a Jew, which is a lie. Esau will never be a Jew. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Not only will he never be a Jew, the specific oppressors over there in our land, in Jerusalem and Jerusalem, here's the thing. They are Amalek, the Amalekites, one of our greatest enemies. And here's the thing. He'll learn from that devil, right? But then he'll condemn us. He looks at us the same way Max Kellerman does. They look at us like this is low-class information when we getting it out the Bible. To paraphrase the rest of Deuteronomy 7 and 6, man, we are a special people unto the Most High, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Now, we are above all people. Go ahead, Nicole.
All right, so even, a couple of brothers, I believe, was it you that was speaking to Amari Stoudemire? It was a couple of brothers in the school that was speaking with him. And was, trying to drop some knowledge on him. And he was so rebellious, in all his ways. It's like, okay, here, we trying to drop some jewels on you, let you know, like, yo, man, like, this ain't no damn white people being able to be intertwined with this. This is only us, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And, with him, like, it goes back to what Christ said, it's going to be hard for a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven because, where he's at, with all the millions of dollars and all that, he's shaking hands with white people. You guarantee he lives right next door to a white person. Mm-hmm. So he feels in his heart, he went to the hospitals and shook hands with the white cancer kids and all that, and little retarded little white kids coming to the basketball games like, hey, you're my favorite basketball player. So he's still got that love for white people so much, and now he knows that, oh, I'm a Jew. He's still going to try to love them and try to accept them. You know what I'm saying? That's the sad part about it. Like, we got to truly understand, man, like, we that special people that the Lord is talking about. And we supposed to be stingy with it. Like, not supposed to be trying to, hey, everybody, Africans, you over there.
And you know what?
Israel.
And you know what's crazy, though? That's what they do. That's what they do. And what our people don't understand is that the so-called Jew will go over to Ethiopia and they'll bring the Cushites over. They'll bring them. They'll bring them over to, to our land, call them a Falasha Jew, but then they'll condemn us. You mad at Nick Cannon. You mad at Deshaun Jackson. You mad at Ice Cube. But here's the thing. They will never be Jews. I'm taking Africans over there that's in our land right now. They getting the hell beat out of them, as they should, because they're not supposed to be there. The oppressor is over there getting burnt the hell up by the sun, and they have, I believe, the highest number of cancer or melanoma over there, man. But Rob will tell you how you have to stop it. But this goes to show you that they're not the real Jews, buddy. Now, we could, he put that bet on the board. He put the alphabet on the board. Let me know if y'all can see it over sure. We're gonna start with the alphabet. All right, that stuff that you learn, you know what I mean, in kindergarten and preschool. This right here is ours. Now, if I could, you know, Israel, you could let me know in the comment section if you can see it, if McCar's handwriting is, you know, big enough. Or if not, I'm gonna try to see if I can move the camera a little closer. So just let me know in the comments if I need to move the camera up closer. All right. What kind of crazy? This name ain't like learn it. This right here is important because for years, our people have been told the lies that the oppressor has been telling us, the lies that Christianity has been telling us. You know what it is? That we are African American. You got people nowadays that call our people that are trying to study some little poor African nation and language. Good night. Not realizing they have over 1,000 different dialects when ours is right here. Ours is right here, man. And if I could, Salaki, it's also tradition that we recite our alphabet too. Salaki, I'm gonna go in front of the camera and recite it. All right. Aba gada hawa zaha tayaka lamanasa I pa taza kwarashatha. All right, cool. So alphabet. You gotta look at the board, go ahead. Nah, don't.
Abagana Hawazaka Taya Ka La Manasai Pa Taza Fara Shafa.
You see it? Yeah.
I did see that.
Most sound crazy.
Okay.
Alright, just making sure.
Just making sure.
I mean, you was studying. Listen, Officer Barack, you on guard too. He was like, Salaki, you know you can look at the board. I was determined not to look at this board. Everything. This is our language right here, man. If you could, if you write the letters under them so they can see from Uncle Shaw. You got the I, you got the Ba, the Ga, the Da, the Ha, the Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La. And if you could, let me know if y'all can see it under there too. I know it's a little small. That's the La, the Ma, the Na, the Sa, Ah, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha. Now, if you notice, Salaki, real quick, you know, funny story is, well, somebody had the nerve to tell Officer Murad that these was plastic swords. This is whole steel. Cut my hand off. But if you notice, right, you can see the similarity on where Esau got his alphabet from. I, the Ba, the Ga, the Da, the Ha, the Wa, the Za, the Ka. Especially with the I. You look at that, and then you look at the alphabet that they teach us, you know, in kindergarten and preschool. You'd be like, well, goddamn, you know, Esau, the oppressor, is just the devil that the Bible speaks of. And he took, you know what I mean, from our language. And which is so heavy about it, which is so heavy, you'd be surprised on how fast it comes to us. Because I can recall, you know, when I was just a young man coming to class, you know, and Officer Rob put me up here on the board, you know, and had me write the alphabet. I was looking at it, of course, because I didn't know it because it was my first day in class, on how it came to me. Even when, you know, when we're born, if you notice when babies are born, what do they say? They say, Ah, Ba, the God. It comes natural because this is ours. This is our language, man. And the oppressor took this, and the other nation took this, and then, Car, if you could, you put the Assyrian up there, bro, for sure. Go to the Assyrian captivity. You know, the Assyrians got hold of our language, like they changed it over. Now that right there is what you call, ancient Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew. What the card is about to put up is what they call today modern Hebrew, which is Yiddish. The Yiddish, well, we're not going to put the Yiddish up there, with the different dots and stuff like that. The Yiddish is actually the language of the oppressor. But the oppressor is such a devil, and so are these other nations. When we were in captivity, they took our language, switched it up, and now we have this. And I tell you this, brother, I still cannot stand this. I can't stand it because not only does it not come natural, because it's not our language, but the fact that these other nations got a hold of it and they changed it around, it's just tragic. When the car put up there first with the ancient Hebrew is when Adam wrote that. That's what Adam wrote it. And when we was writing it up until, the Assyrian captivity. Now, when all of a sudden the car is putting up, that's the I, that's the Ba, the God, the Da, the Ha, the Wa, the Za, the Ka, the Ka, we'll put the Ya up next. I tell you, bro, I can't stand that Assyrian. Most sign Christ, the letters is to what? Sign Christ. God. Also, some letters have different endings. Like the Ka, for example, the Ka, the La, the Va, the Na, the Pa, the Da have different endings when they end as a word. That's Ka at the beginning. You won't put it right there. Like for the Ka, for example. That's Ka at the beginning. Now, if the word ends in Ka, it would end in that Ka. I know Israel's rough. But this is what they refer to today as modern Hebrew. This is modern Hebrew. This is what the Tanakh have. This is what the oppressor is writing in over there in our land. And here's the thing, we are going to get back to a time when we are going to be writing in that ancient. Because here's the thing. This is important to know because with knowing this and understanding that we are the Lord's chosen people, that we are the Israelites, and Hebrew is our language to come back to our identity and our culture is a glorious thing because when we are conformed to the evil of this world, when you just want to do everything centered around Esau and these other nations, you disregard our heritage, our culture, you become what I like to call lost in the sauce. You think you can go out there and live your best life. You in the world, you're not worried about none of this at all. You're just trying to figure out how you can make your next dollar, how you can continue to be a whore and to be a wicked Negro. And here's the thing. This is the time right now for us to get ourselves together. The scriptures say, to gather ourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Now, understanding us as Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, that we are, the nation that is not desired. That once we come into the body of the truth, man, the whole body of Christ, and it starts with us understanding, man, who we are and what we need to do. And it comes down to conforming back to our own culture to have something that belongs to us. Because, like it or not, the Hebrew is ours. This right here, the Assyrian, I'm talking about that ancient. The point blank period, though, the language Hebrew belongs to us. And we're going to go into the scriptures at one point when we always together. Because the uphill battle that a lot of our people face, they can't get over the fact that the Most High is not all-inclusive. And it's sad. It's sad. Because what comes with with that belief, with them believing, they'll say, well, what's wrong with that? Here's the thing. Why do you think the heathens felt a need to do this to our language? Why do you think that the Assyrians felt the need to do that? Why? Because the Assyrians, like the Edomites, the oppressor, like the Ammonites, the Japanese, the Moabites, and the Chinese, and the Ishmaelites, they were jealous of us. As Psalm the 83rd chapter says, man, they came together with one consent so they can cut us off from being a nation. And it started with taking our language and changing it around. To come up with whole new characters and to put it in their language. Good night. That's what they did. This is why we have to understand why it's important to understand, man, that every Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, we are important to the Most High Christ. And with knowing how important we are, how special we are as a people, we owe it to the Most High Christ to come back into our own culture. This is what we have to do. Now, following the other nations and trying to be like them, as I said in Proverbs 3:31, paraphrasing, and be thou not the oppressor. This is what comes with them being the oppressor. Look at this. They took our language, and now it's the Assyrian. And that became modern. The heathen got a hold of our language, and then they call it modern. And they call ours ancient, like a thing of the past. Well, here's the thing. It should have never been in the hands of the oppressor or these other nations to begin with. Kind of saying, like the Ah, the Ba, the God, the Ah, the Wa, the Za, the Ka, the Ta, the Ya, the Ka, the La, Ba, Da, Sa, I, Pa, to Za, Sa, Wa, Ra, Sha, Ta. You wrote a lot better than me. I can't say that. But like I was saying, conforming with these other nations is the reason why that happened. And here's the thing, and I know a lot of people are wondering, why is it? You think that the Most High loves everybody. You think the Lord wants everybody to be one. But here's the thing, we used to be. All people used to be together at one point. And we're going to go into what the Lord said and thought about that. The card you could read, Genesis the 11th chapter. Start at verse 1. Genesis 11 and verse 1. I'm going to leave that up there for a little bit. Then we're going to go into the tribes. All right? Got it?
Okay. We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 11 and verse 1. Mm-hmm. And the whole earth was of one language.
And the whole earth was of one language. The whole earth. We were speaking Hebrew. At one point in time, all people, we were together and of one language. Read on.
Come. And of one speech.
And of one speech. We was of one speech too. Ooh, we. Keep going.
Come. Verse 2. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar.
Mm-hmm.
And they dwelt there. Mm-hmm. Verse 3. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they made brick for stone.
Now, they made brick for stone. You know what they're doing here? They getting ready to build something. Let's find out what they getting ready to build. You know.
And slime had they for mortar.
Mm-hmm. Brick and mortar, they getting ready to build something. Let's keep going.
Come, verse 4. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven.
They said, let us build a city and a tower that can reach onto heaven. All the people got together and said, you know what? Let's just build one big tower that we can go up into heaven, that we can go up into the skies. Just like how Esau like his towers nowadays. You know, in downtown Philadelphia, you know, Chester, Pittsburgh, all over, you know, Esau got them big, mighty skyscrapers and everything. Well, this skyscraper ain't got nothing. The skyscrapers now ain't got nothing on this, you know, on this tower that's being built right here. And they got nothing on it because everybody came together for that. You know.
God. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Verse 5. And the Lord came down to the city.
Now, the Lord sent an angel down to the city to, to check up on everybody and see what they doing. Like, man, what they doing down here? What they doing down here in this city? Read on.
And the tower which the children of men built.
And the children of men built. Children of men built. Everybody was got in on this, man. Everybody was together in a one consent and decided, to build this tower up into the heavens, man. You see how everybody's together right here? Now, my question to the class is, how do you think the Most High reacted to that? And he sent the angel down to see everybody together. Because y'all teach, that's what y'all teaching nowadays. Our people believe in the car that we all have to be together, we all have to love each other. That's why our people are so appalled when the oppressor kills us. Or when, the Chinese man and woman beat your ass when you walk into the nail salon. Or when you on the laundry man. You can't fathom why Habibi, in the Crown Fried Chicken spit in your chicken and your fries. You think that everybody's supposed to love each other and we're supposed to be together. But here's the thing. We're going to read about what the Lord said about that. What the Lord thought when he saw this, saw the children of men, seeing everybody together with one consent to build up this tower.
Verse 6, and the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language.
He said, the people was one. They got all one language. Everybody was speaking Hebrew. Everybody was together. Everybody was speaking Hebrew. The Lord sees it. Now, I'm not going to go too far away. Read.
Come. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them.
And nothing will be restrained from them. Go ahead.
Which they have imagined to do. Go to. Let us go down. And there confound their language.
And confound what?
Their language.
And confound their language. See what the Lord did? The Lord saw everybody together and was like, man, they all together. Everyone's together. Everybody's speaking Hebrew. You know what? Nah. Let's go down there and confound their languages. This is why everybody has different dialects now. This is why the Japhite was able to have English, why the oppressor was able to have Yiddish, why the Arabs would have that Arabic, why the Africans could have that. They could have their language because the Lord came down, and confounded the language, separated everybody. This is in the Bible. We have been lied to as a people to believe that we're all one. That is one of the biggest lies that the oppressor in Christianity has told us. Because here's the thing, the Lord does not want that. That's what we just read. It's not our interpretation to call like they would like to say. The Lord said that we're going to go down, angels are going to go down and confound the languages. Any more?
And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down and confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
That may not understand one another's speech. I don't know if you ever seen it, some, a whole bite of Chinese man trying to speak with an Arabic man. You forget about it. They're not going to understand each other. But at one point, we all was together, and the Lord saw that and put an end to it. That's why I went into Deuteronomy 7:6, my favorite scripture. Because the Lord chose us to be separate. The Lord chose us to be holy, man, which means to be separate. He chose us to be special above all people upon the face of the earth. Even in the midst of the Tower of Babel in Babylon, man, our forefather Abraham was in the midst of that. And the Lord told Abraham to get the hell up out of there. And he was going to make Abraham great. And establish the covenant with Abraham, and with Isaac, and with Jacob. Go ahead.
Right, they got to the point where when the Lord told him, he was like, listen, I'm going to give you my covenant. You understand? Like, I'm going to work something out with you so that whatever your seed can be my special people. You know what I mean? He was so shocked by it. He fell on his face. He was like, oh, snap, because Abraham knew what was going on in the world.
Right.
He knew this happened. The Lord splitting everybody apart, flooding the whole earth. You know what I'm saying? Abraham knew those things. You know what I'm saying? The same way, you know, Abraham felt about that covenant, we gotta feel the same way, knowing that we are part of that covenant. You understand? We actually are the prince and princesses of power. We shouldn't take it lightly, man. That's why coming to class, you know what I'm saying, it's so powerful. If I could, sir, sister was like, you can say, can you don't have to keep sending me to classes. I'm like, you know what? I was gonna say something, I was like, you know what? That's on you. You can go ahead. And it's funny, the sister, the brother, that I talked to the brother that she learned from, right? The brother learned from us. And he
If I could, not to cut you off. First of all, they all learned from us. First of all, we've been doing this since 1969. The Israelite School of UPK is the one and only truth, man, the home of the truth. I don't care what you call yourself, what you wear. You can wear red, gold, purple, all you want. It all comes back to One West. It all comes back to One West. They all watch. That doesn't surprise me.
yeah, but you know, I was gonna say something, but you know, I put a little Captain Kyle, what he was saying, he was like, you know what I mean, I'm sweat. That's all I said. I was like, I'm sweat. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I mean? Because I know that at the end of the day, sister, you know what I'm saying, you don't understand this unity. You don't understand this covenant strong enough. You don't take it serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, understanding this covenant, man, this should make you want to come back, you know what I mean, to the Lord. It should make you want to come to the school, man. Because Abraham fell on his face. You understand? Knowing the condition that he was in, knowing the thing that was going on in the world. You understand? And the Lord coming to him, like, yo, I'm going to do something real special for you, man. You understand? My chosen people is going to come through your seed, man. And we got to really look at that and really take it into consideration that, yo, man, let me go ahead and do mine. Let me do what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying, for the Lord, man. So that sister, you know what I mean, that said that she didn't want to get none of the classes I was sending her, I said, no sweat, because you don't understand. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit up there and fight tooth and nail with you. You know what I'm saying? You go listen to those. I'll tell you at the class. Conversation.
If I could, you know, Tom, Kevin behind me said it best. It's how I pray you understand. You can pretty much do whatever you want. You want to wear purple? You want to wear red? Go ahead. Lord be with you. But just know, eventually, you are going to come up against us. And like the general said, like the old school way, you could be with Abner. You could just like choosing the side of Abner, or we could choose the side of David. It's always been that. But here's the thing: the Most High is going to reveal. The Most High is already revealed. Right? We've been there since '69, and we're not going nowhere. There any more on that?
Sir. Verse 8. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth.
Now, the Lord scattered everybody. Now you got Chinese man and Moabites in China. In China. Got them in China. Now you got the Africans over there. Now you got, who else? You got, you know what I mean? You got Europe over there with the Caucasus Mountains where the oppressor is from. You got Australia. You got, you know, the Samoan Islands, the Fiji Islands. Now, everybody's been scattered. You got India, you got, you know, Iran, Iraq. The Lord scattered everybody. Meaning the Most High does not want everybody to be together. In the midst of Babylon at that time, Abraham was just coming up. You know, after all that, he was coming up as a man. The Lord told Abraham to get the hell up out of there, and he was going to make, you know what I mean, Abraham great. And make his seed great, but a specific seed. A specific seed indeed. Now, you could, Carl, I believe that's it on that.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Scattered abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city.
Now, they left off. Build the city. Now, with Abraham, when he was coming up, the Lord established it with him. The Most High called Abraham his friend. Just to know how heavy that is for the Lord to call Abraham his friend. And then, become Isaac, Abraham's son, his only begotten son. I was in the car taught a class yesterday, breaking down on why Ishmael was not chosen. That Isaac, thy seed, shall be called. Isaac was that only son of Abraham. And out of Isaac, what did we get? Our forefather, Jacob, Yashar'Allah. Now, if I could, with Yashar'Allah, going into the next thing, can you put the tribes up? You start on line 3, can you put up Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in the Hebrew, Brother Lashawan? This is the Friday Lashawan Qadash. Priest and officer of 1,000 filling in for priest and officer of 5,000 Marab. Heavy hitter in this truth. Lord willing, he's going to be back next Friday. What I mean? Teaching this, this Hebrew to us. He is the ultimate Hebrew scholar. He's going to have his ad-libs and his puns and bring hell to Esau as usual. But I'll fill in for the week. Now, it's like for the tribes. The tribes. We're going to start with Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. You can write it in English, and then you can write it in the ancient. Now, black men in America, we are of the tribe of Judah, Yahawah in the Hebrew, Yahawah. And understanding that, or what you're so heavy about is Yahawah. I'm thinking about it. you about to put Yasha car up there? Good. Right. We all brothers. We cool. We cool. I'm sure. Yahawah in the Hebrew. That's who we are. That's our identity, man. That's our tribe. Man. Black man. I got a scripture for you. I'm going to paraphrase myself. Salaki. We'll go into Jeremiah 14:2. Jeremiah 14:2, one of my favorite scriptures. Paraphrase from Jeremiah 14:2 says, Judah mourned, the gates thereof languish. Black men, we are in mourning, man. Hallelujah. We are in mourning. It says the gates thereof languish. What is the gate for? Our gates are for protection. And we have no protection. Our protection is what? Al Sharpton, the Christian Church? Geno Jennings? You can forget about it. Black Lives Matter? Come on now. They are black unto the ground. I believe black is Qadash. The Jews, Howard, are black unto the ground. And Judah encompasses Judah, Benjamin, and Levi for the southern kingdom. You got Benjamin, our West Indian brothers and sisters of Jamaica, of Trinidad, of St. Thomas out there in those islands. That's Bun Young Yen. And then you have Loya, the priests, the Levitical priests. Here's the thing. The Levites today are the so-called Haitians. Now you could put the English up there. And Lord, Bubba Shaw for the class to see. So why? Yahawah, Banyungan, and Lawyer. That is how you say Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in the Hebrew. And why is this important? I'm going to keep reiterating on why it's important, man, because today our people believe, man, that we are African American, which is a goddamn lie. It's a lie. Why? I'll tell you why. They tell us that we African American. My question to the class online is this. If you a so-called African, right, please tell me what tribe you're from in Africa. Please. Please tell me of what tribe of the Lufufu, Ungala, Wakanda. Please let me know. Where do you come from? Where do we come from? Matter of fact, Carl, can you give me Jeremiah 17 and verse 4? Oh, Sean. Jeremiah 17 and verse 4. Because here's the thing. You can't tell me. And then you want to tell me, to tell me, Israel, well, I'm an American. You know, we're the original Americans. Now, here's the thing. We were over here with our Gadite and Reubenite brothers and sisters, man. The tribe of Gad and Ra'alaban, we're going to get to them too. But here's the thing. African, comes from Leo Scipio's Africanus. So that's an oppressor. That's a devil. Amerigo Vespucci, what America was named after, was an Italian explorer. You got two devils right here. So when you tell me you African American, trying to sound sophisticated, trying to sound like you know something, but you really sound silly. Like, man, this right here is our tribe, our identity. We are of the tribe of Judah, Yahweh. Also, you know, as we call it up, we might from right to left in the Hebrew. Yahweh. And about good. These are connectors. The connectors meaning this right here, little frowny face, like I like to call it. That means it's single. The Yah is single, the Ha, the Wa, and then the connector meaning the Da. The Da connects the Da and the Ha. You got what I asked for?
God.
Jeremiah 17 verse 4.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage.
Here's the thing, we believe that we're African American. You believe that you're the original man, that you Egyptian. We're gonna go into that too. But here's the thing. We have been discontinued from our heritage. Our identity. Go out there, I ask you, this is a little survey for the class, homework. Go out there and ask the next brother and sister, what's your nationality? I guarantee you, they might even tell you a church denomination. I asked the brother what his nationality was. He was like, well, brother, I'm a Baptist. Sister told me she was a Pentecostal. I said, I asked you what your nationality was. Not what slave master you go to and plantation, what church you go to. Good night. Forget about it. Not understanding, man, that thou even thyself shall discontinue from thy inheritance, man. The Lord gave this to us. This is our identity. When we brought out, with Abraham, after Abraham, came Isaac. And Isaac was that seed he called. And Isaac had two sons, Jacob and Esau. And Jacob is our forefather, Yashar'Allah, Israel. And he had 12 sons. And black man, we come from Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. You are a black, so-called black man and woman in America, or you are a so-called black, man or woman in the West Indian Islands, or in the Isle of Hispaniola, Haiti. We'll get to our Dominican brothers and sisters in a second. You are a Jew, man. You are of the tribe of Judah, or of Benjamin, or of Levi, Yahweh, Bunyan, Lawyer. That's our nationality. We're Israelites. And this right here is describing the tribe that we come from. And Jeremiah 17 and verse 4 tells us how we will discontinue from our heritage because we want to follow after the other nations. The fact that we wanted to follow after the people that were named after, Amerigo Vespucci and Leo Scipio's Africanus, you want to follow after the oppressor. You want to follow after these other nations and their customs. And we lost who we were. We lost who we were. Because the Most High is a jealous God. Read on.
That I gave thee.
That I gave thee. Israel, I need you to understand how important that is. The Lord is saying, I gave you this. I gave it to you. The Most High is very possessive right here. He's not talking about everybody. He's only talking about us blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We do the Lord such a great disservice, man. Even today, the fact of everything that's going on, just to touch on it a little bit. The fact that our brother Jacob Blake could be shot 7 times, right? And then our people, his own family, I lie to you not, Israel. I lie to you not. Jacob Blake was shot 7 times in front of his kids. You know what the solution was that his family decided to do? His family decided to meet with Broadway Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And then they decided to have a damn block party and dance for the brother in their front yard. This is how destroyed we are as a people. This is how destroyed we are. Rioting and looting ain't the solution either. Don't get me wrong. If you out there rioting and looting, that's not the solution. But goddamn, you gonna go out there and dance your way into the oppressor's heart? Good night. You gonna dance for the brother? The brother is in a hospital bed handcuffed. They got the nerve to have our brother still handcuffed to the goddamn hospital bed. He ain't going nowhere because he got 7 bullets in his back. And our people want to, scream, no justice, no peace, Black Lives Matter, or dance and have a cookout and block party when the oppressor is out here killing us wholesale, shooting us in our backs. And we too busy want to conform and be with him and choose their ways. No, we can't. We got discontinued from our heritage for doing that very thing. Go ahead, Nico.
I just want to say, the Most High is great, all right? He killed Joe Biden's son.
Most High Christ, rocket by y'all way out the shot. Give me a get
My brother was trying to get a pill on his case, and Joe Biden's son was the one in the DA that took on the case and denied him. And by the time my brother came home, he said, yo, that nigga died from brain cancer. I said, good night. I said, what's up,
Christ?
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know it. But they're the same individuals that stand by the police when they do kill us. They can try to act like they be so heartbroken about it. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris locked up so many black people. Joe Biden's son put away so many damn black people. You know what I'm saying? He was a lawyer in the DA. Mm-hmm. So he was out there roofing black people like it was nothing.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what
and that's why the Lord killed people.
Most High Christ. And that should go to show us, man, the power that we serve. The power that we serve, the Holy One out of Israel, man, Yahweh, in the Hebrew. And the Most High said that he will be an enemy unto thine enemies. Our enemies are really the enemies of the Most High. This is why we have to come back to what the Lord told us to do. Read what you got. Keep reading.
Come. I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land where thou knowest not.
Forget about it. I will cause thee to serve thy enemies. Our people still don't know that we are still serving our enemies. The fact that our people are going to get together in the car, they're going to get together. And they're going to go out to the polls and vote for Broadway Joe or Donald Trump. It's sad. When we have a king, our king's name is Yahweh Mashiach in the Hebrew. Don't get that on the board too. Jesus Christ as you know him in the world. That's our king. You're not supposed to be voting for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, or Donald Trump. Here's the thing. Here is the thing. This right here is the time, man, to get in class, to understand that we are the Israelites. And if you are so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, this is the home of the truth, and this is where you need to be. You wanted to break something out, Carl?
So, buddy.
No, keep reading. Go ahead.
Come. Okay. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger. Mm-hmm. Which shall burn forever.
And ye have kindled a fire in my anger. We anger the Lord, man, when we do these things. We do. We anger the Most High. And here's the thing. This is what's so sad about it. Which is so sad. And we want to be with these other nations so bad. Just to speak on something real quick, Bubba Kushaw, that our people want to join the oppressor and join these other nations. Thinking about something that I saw a couple years ago, didn't pay no mind, I wasn't in the truth. But then looking back on it now, the tribe of Levi Loya in the Hebrew. They tried to join Africa's Union. The United Nations of Africa, right, have a union that they have. They have it. Where, you know what I mean? Where they trade and they, you know, they look out for each other. Haiti, the tribe of Levi, Loya, they tried to join in May of 2016. You can look this up. You know what them Africans told our brothers and sisters, man? They told them, well, until you are not African enough. You are not African. They told our brothers and sisters that, man. Haiti tried, loyal, they tried to join their union. They thought that the African was their brother. Just as, you know, us over here in America, you know, we think the oppressor is our brother. He's not. He's not. The Africans told you, you're not African enough. You're not. Why do you think we are in the condition that we in? Scripture say that God, even ourselves, shall discontinue. We shall serve our enemies. To speak about what happened with our young brothers and sisters and our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Loyal. They battled against the British and the Spanish and the French for years, and would kick their ass, Salakia for the language, just off of those islands. And you know what the oppressor did because he could not beat them physically? Because he couldn't physically beat them? He put economic sanctions on them, where our young brothers and sisters will tell you, ask them if they can import or export. They can't. They can't. The Queen in Britain, they still rule over the West Indian Islands. They do. They set up a little parliament, a little government, where they set up, you know, a figurehead down there, but he don't have no real power. Britain is still in charge of the West Indian Islands. France is still in charge of Haiti. They control what goes in and what comes out, and nothing can go in and nothing can go out. Sutup Bogator, man, you know, a Levite brother, was kicking the French's ass for years. For years. And you know what happened? Even after all the fighting, even after our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Loyal was able to fend them off, they put them economic sanctions up there. They can't send out food, they can't get food. And then with Sutup Bogator, you know, Brother Sutup Bogator of the tribe of Loyal, the tribe of Levi, he went out to France. Got on the boat, went out there, and you know what they did? They locked our brother up. Locked our brother up. And here's the thing, it goes to show you, man, you cannot trust these other nations. You cannot trust the oppressor for this reason. They are our enemies. The scriptures say that they are out, and you will serve thy enemies. We don't believe that the oppressor and the other nations are our enemies. Well, you better believe it now. You better believe it now. And here's the thing, it's not going to get better unless we gather ourselves together, unless we separate. You know, we just came off of what? The 45th anniversary of what? Like the 45th anniversary of, you know, Martin Luther King's March on Washington. You know, so our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Yahweh, we went out there. They went out there, man, and marched, just as they did during the 60s. And none of that has done anything for us, man. It has not helped us. Marching will never help us. The oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. The scriptures say, never trust thy enemy, for as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. You know, as iron will rust, as iron will rust, and guess what? The oppressor will always be wicked. The scriptures say, who can make straight what I've made crooked? This is why learning our identity and who we are is prevalent, man. It is prevalent. I'm going to give y'all a second to get that down off the board, and then we're going to go on to the next three. Shalom, Lord Christ, sir. Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ, sir. You went to class? All right, most high Christ, sir. Most high Christ. Give y'all one quick second. Get that. To get it. Salaki.
I know you know.
Sloppy in the car. You put the next three on the board. The next three, Bubba for sure. Also, big shout out to Priest and Officer 1000, Yanaquan, the wandering priest himself. Most out Christ. Most out Christ. Yeah, you put the next three on the board.
I'm not trying to say nothing, bro. I'm saying, like, I'm not capping.
Man, you are brother. And this goes to show you, man, how prevalent and how beautiful this brotherhood is.
What's the next one?
Shmaiwan, the Balawan.
So what we doing today? You Rod is not here?
Oh yeah, La, sir. Officer Marad is unclean. We had no, they're unclean from Officer Makataz's funeral.
Oh, so they went to
No, North Carolina. They're back. You know, he'll be back. Officer Marad should be back next Friday, sir.
okay. Well, I was supposed to put some cash up, and I still hit it.
It's coming up. We'll talk about it. All right, the card about to put up the next three. Zebulon.
I was trying to spell it. I know
Yeah, Zebulon, the card. Zebulon. Christ. Now, Simeon. I brought up lawyers, so-called Haitians, today. Now, let's talk about Simeon, Shemaiah, in the Hebrew. They are the so-called Dominicans. Now, here's the thing, and this is also what let me know that we truly are united children of Israel. On the Isle of Espanol, right? Our Levite brothers and sisters of the tribe, lawyers, and our, Simeonite brothers and sisters of the tribe of Shemaiwan, they dwell together. Now, if you ask, a Haitian brother today, what he thinks about a Dominican brother, or what a Dominican brother thinks about another Haitian brother, there's hardly no brotherhood. But here's the thing, I can show you that in the scripture. And I'm going to get it for you. This is the thing. This blew my mind. Slide me, bear with me one time. Bear with me. Slide me. Levi and Simeon. Brothers, Shemaiwan and Roy. Carl, get a chance. No, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. So, we're going to go to Genesis 49 and 5. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 49 and verse 5. And this is going to talk about Levi and Simeon, Goya and Shemaiah in the Hebrew. This right here will let me know that we truly are the Israelites, man. The Most High knew what the hell he was talking about. That these are our records. That these are our records, man. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation. Now, when it says Simeon, Shemaiah, and Levi are brethren, that's talking about the Haitians and the Dominicans. Right. Both dwell in the Isle of Hispaniola. They both live together. But the hatred, things that go on with our brothers and sisters, man. And that brotherhood is currently being repaired. That brotherhood is being repaired right now in the Israelite school at UPK. It says Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation. What are the instruments of cruelty? You know, type it in the class. What are the instruments of cruelty that Simeon and Levi have? The instruments of cruelty is the voodoo and the Santeria. Voodoo and Santeria. Instruments of cruelty. That's what the Levites use, you know what I mean? To fight off, you know what I mean, the French. And the Santeria is what, you know what I mean, our Simeonite brothers, the Shemaiah wanted to use to fight off against the Spanish. Here's the thing. We should have been serving the Most High God. That's what we should have been doing. The scriptures is telling us right here that instruments of cruelty, not realizing, man, that you think that you think you're doing voodoo or you think you're doing Santeria because of what just comes natural to you. You ever ask yourself why and why you had to resort to that? Yeah, why when you bring up the Santeria to a brother or sister that's Dominican of the tribe of Simeon, Shemaiah, or why you bring up voodoo to a Haitian brother or sister? The Lord told us that in Genesis the 49th chapter. Right? You understand? Our brethren, we'll read it again. It says, Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation. Here's the thing. That goes to show you, man, on what we need to do as a people. Because the brotherhood, man, there's only real brotherhood here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Because over in the Isle of Hispaniola, tensions rise between our brothers and sisters. And they're not even realizing that we are the same people. That we are the same. It's the same thing, but to deviate for a second on what goes on with our Hispanic brothers, our Mexican brothers and sisters, in California or in Chicago. The brotherhood is there, but there's also tension. This as we have, issues with each other. When we are the same people, man, we are brothers. We are sisters. And Barak Yahweh Shah for the Israelite School of UPK, because right here in the Israelite School of UPK, we have to be brothers. Christ said, to love one another as I love you. Now, Simeon and Levi, as we love each other. Now, Zebulun, Zabalawan in the Hebrew, Guatemala to Panama. Big shout out to priest and officer Yaquab, man. I believe, obviously, Yaquab is of the tribe of Zabalawan. He's of the tribe of Zabalawan. And here's the thing, Christ. Here's the thing. When it comes to our people, man, we are scattered. We are scattered all around, man. Shout out, the priest and officer Yaquab. That's my brother. We gotta understand, man, that there's been like a disconnect with our people, where Hispanic brothers, some don't look at us as brothers, and black brothers, we don't look at them as brothers. But we all come, from Jacob, from Israel, from Lashawan, going over the tribes right now. Went over Simeon, went over Zebulun, Zabalawan. Now let's get to Ephraim. Now, here in Philadelphia, right? Let's touch on this a little bit. In Philadelphia, as in the Bronx in New York, Philadelphia has the highest number of so-called Puerto Ricans. And the so-called Puerto Ricans are the tribe of Ephraim, a Parian in the Hebrew. A high number of them are here. I know you see them out there in the Badlands. They are brothers and sisters. Here's the thing, they act just like niggas. You want to know why? Because they are niggas. You ever notice that? I used to know the dad as a young age, you know what I mean? Because my pops from North Philly, he up, you know, second with from around that area. Here's the thing. If you ever wonder, like, damn, we similar in how we act. We're the same people. Apart in the Hebrew. Ephraim. Here's the thing, too. On how destroyed we are as a people. Ask a so-called Puerto Rican brother and sister, what does rich port mean? No, Slav, what does Puerto Rican mean? Puerto Rican means rich port. That is what they name it. That's what it means. You ask them what Puerto Rican means. Puerto Rican means rich port. Is that is that your name? When the Spaniards came over to that island, because here's the thing with the transatlantic slave trade, and we're gonna get there too in 1 second. We weren't the only ones that went on them slave ships. Our Hispanic brothers and sisters went on the slave ships first. That's how they got over there to Puerto Rico. And then when Spain came, the Spaniards, because they're devils, they're white people, they're Caucasians, they came over there and named that island Richport. They had all different types of minerals, all different types of, different materials. Shalom, y'all watching from the star, bro. Let's see. Most High Christ, glad you can make it. Got any questions? Most High Christ. So when they got over there to Puerto Rico, it was like, man, this island right here has everything. We're gonna call this Richport. Now, I'm asking my so-called, Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, is that your name? Is that what you mean? Is that who you are? Richport? This is why the scriptures say that we have become a byword. We become a byword. Like spit, nigga, Richport? Come on now. Here's the thing, the scriptures say in Jeremiah 2 and verse 14, I believe, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? We got to stop serving the oppressor. And the big thing too, what our brothers and sisters, our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters have in common too, Christianity and Islam is a thorn in all of our sides because Ephraim struggle with that too. If you go out there in North Philly, you got brothers and sisters that are so-called Puerto Ricans of the tribe of Apari, Ephraim, and they take their Shahada too. It's Ephraimite brothers and sisters, Israel. It's Ephraimite brothers and sisters right now taking their Shahadas, conforming to Islam. It just goes to show you, man, that we truly are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. That's why the scripture saying in Jeremiah 2 and 14 is Israel a servant. Is he a homeborn slave? Because we become a slave to Christianity. Also in Islam, with our tribe, our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters, Catholicism is big with them. The Catholic Church, good night. They love that whore, the white Virgin Mary. They love that. They love it. They love Caesar Bougere, the son of Alexander Bougere, man. They love it. And here's the thing. It has destroyed our people when our identity is right there in the Bible. It's in the Bible. And it's important for us to realize, man, that we have to come back. That we have to come back to that. Not understanding, if you could, young man, you give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. We're going to go into that for sure. We're going to go into that. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. For sure. You don't go there, bro?
No. I was just trying to get some good.
Okay. You got what I asked for?
Yeah, I got it.
What's that crazy? Read you got? Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 58. And the Lord shall bring these into Egypt. Again, the ships.
Now, go down. The Lord is saying that he shall bring us into Egypt again with ships. What does it mean when the Lord said he's going to bring us into Egypt again with ships? I'll tell you. When we, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68, brother. Read it again from the top. Answer the brother's question. We're in Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Read it again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 58. And the Lord shall bring these into Egypt again.
The Lord said he will bring us into Egypt again. We walked out of Egypt the first time. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we walked out of Egypt the first time. The Lord is saying he's going to bring us into Egypt again. Egyptos, which means bondage. That's all Egypt means. We walked out of Egypt the first time, but the Lord is telling us that we are going to go into bondage again. Read on.
With ships.
With ships. Now, we just was talking about, our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Ephraim, Aparia. Here's the thing. They went into ships first, Northern Kingdom. Around 1492, when the conquistador, when Cortez and them boys, they love to tell you that Christopher Columbus discovered America, but they don't want to tell you the reasoning why he came here. They don't want to tell you that he had Hebrew interpreters. And for you silly Negroes out there that say, well, it's all black, the 12 tribes are all black, or there's certain little Mafubu tribes in Africa, they're the real Northern Kingdom. No. Hispanics are Israel. They are Israel. 100%. They went into captivity first. Columbus had Hebrew interpreters. Why did he have Hebrew interpreters? Because he knew, just as most of them knew, that when they were coming over here to this so-called New World, and here's the thing with the New World, I believe it's in First Ezra where they talk about the navigation that the Northern Kingdom took when they got out of captivity. It talks about the Northern Kingdom coming over here to so-called North America. But the reason why the conquistador and them came over here was to bring our brothers and sisters, man, from Ephraim on down to Issachar, Simeon too, into captivity. We weren't the only ones that went into captivity. The transatlantic slave trade was a well-organized trade that involved every nation. Every nation. All of them nations came together to put us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians into slavery. The Lord is telling us right here in Deuteronomy 28 and 68, that thou shalt go into Egypt again with ships. You want to know why Puerto Ricans are called Puerto Ricans? Why they're called rich port? Because they were put on those slave ships and dropped off into the isle, into the island that they call Puerto Rico today. When they were over here, I believe they were called the Taino Indian. Now, you Puerto Rican, when really you're an Israelite from the tribe of Aparia, Ephraim. Read on.
By the way whereof I speak unto thee.
By the way whereof I speak unto thee. I think unto thee. Go ahead, read on. Keep reading.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
He said, thou sayest that he shall see it no more again. He said, see it no more. What haven't we seen again? What haven't we seen again? I'll tell you. Go ahead, Nicole.
If I could, maybe the brother might want to answer before I get answer.
Oh, hey, bro. What haven't we seen?
Our homeland.
That's right. Give him a hand. We haven't seen our homeland. Jerusalem, Jerusalem in the Hebrew. We ain't seen Zion. We ain't seen it. We over here in America. We in the West Indian Islands. We in Richport, Puerto Rico. We're in Mexico. We're scattered abroad. It said, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more. We haven't seen it. And if you go over there, you're still not going to see it because we haven't seen it in the glory. The oppressor is over there having pride parades, brother. They having pride parades in our land. Go ahead, Nicole.
Now, that gay movement is so heavy. Now they're trying, the females right now is trying to, get some power up in it. They're like, no, hell no. You know what I mean? We want to start teaching and stuff like that. So now, I guess the guy that runs it all over there, now he's starting to try to comfort the woman. And so now the females is over there trying to get some little power, you know what I mean? So you know that the homosexuality that they tried to hide, well, really they don't, because they put their ride on little kids' penises.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
It speaks
broadcast way more.
It speaks about that in Daniel, the 7th chapter, Daniel 7:25, where it says that he shall wear out the saints of the Most High,
Right.
that he will seek to change the times and the laws. Esau will tell you, man, that homosexuality is an alternative lifestyle. The sad thing is, when our people think Zion today, we don't think about our land. We think about Dwayne Wade's homosexual son that wants to be a girl. That's what you think when you hear Zion. And that's a damn shame, man. But that's our land, man. That's ours. It don't belong to the oppressor. It says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Read on.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Sold unto your enemies. Our brothers and sisters, man, of the tribe of Ephraim were sold. So was Manasseh, Gad, Naphtali, Issachar. We were all sold. The whole 12 tribes. They got together and sold us unto our enemies. And we are still in the land of our captivity with our enemies. Read on.
For bondman and bondwoman.
Bondman and bondwoman. Go ahead.
And no more should, and no man should buy you.
And no man shall buy you. Bondman and bondwoman. Slave man and slave woman. And no man shall buy you. Go ahead, sir.
It's like the other nation is not even our enemy. We're our own worst enemy. You know, we don't even look at them as our enemy because we're the enemies of ourselves.
Here's the thing, too. To add what you're saying, we are our worst opponent. We are our worst enemy, our own worst enemy. We look at what these other nations have and look at them as our friends, when they already hate us. They know that we're their enemy. The Lord chose us. The only ones that don't seem to get it is us. We're the only ones that don't believe it. Go ahead, Nicole.
If I could, you know, like anytime I try to teach something that's like confrontational with, you know what I mean, the whole premise of separation, knowing that we're special people. You know, I try to always explain, man, we have enemies, man. And this life ain't about, you know, warfare. I mean, life is about war, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, it's like what you said. We do understand to a point extent, but you know, like they say, you can't eat them joint. You know, that's we got to get it when we fit and touch.
And that's sad. And this is why it's important, man.
We lost our place.
Right. That sounds great. And this is the time right here to get back to our place. This is why the Israelite School of UPK is here. This is why we're going over who we really are. Now, I went from, Judah all the way down to Ephraim. Let's talk about Manasseh, in the Hebrew. They are the so-called Cubans, our Cuban brothers and sisters. And here's the thing, too, which is like real sad, what our people don't realize, too, which is heavy. On how special we are as a people. Our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Ephraim and Manasseh, like Cubans, especially our Cuban brothers and sisters. Who can hit a baseball better than our Cuban brothers? Nobody. You can't forget about it. Nobody hit that baseball better than us. It just goes to show you, man, that we are the special people that Deuteronomy 7 and 6 is talking about. And this is why it's important, man, for people to understand our language. Because it's the same thing with the tribe of Ephraim. They tell you that you're Cuban, that you're from Cuba. I understand that Castro was a devil. Had, had his own political, agenda over there. And here's the thing. That's not our identity. You're not a Cuban. Cuba is not your home. You are an Israelite from the tribe of Manasseh, Manasseh in the Hebrew. Now, the tribe of Gad, true. Gad is the North American Indian. Now, which is so heavy about, Gad, just to go into it. When we were enslaved, tribe of people, we were over here in America being oppressed and being in slavery. The tribe of Gad, man, and Judah would get together. And there would be slaves, like the slave rebellions that they don't like to tell you about. Gad was out there fighting with us. And so was Ra'awabon, I'm going to get to in a second. But Gad and Ra'awabon, which is so heavy, and Ra'awabon and Reuben in the Hebrew, Ra'awabon in the Hebrew, Reuben, that's the Seminole Indian. So you have the Native American Indian Gad and the Seminole Indian in Ra'awabon. And there would be many slave revolts. Forget about it. Especially during like in the South area, like Louisiana, in the Carolinas, and in Florida, even with Manasseh, we would get together and kick the oppressor's ass, man. And it just goes to show you, man, that we are brothers and sisters, man. And we got to get back to that. And under the Most High in Christ, under command of Jimmy Hanna, the UBK, we are doing that. This is our identity. You are not a native Indian. Columbus was such a dummy. He came over here. They say that he was going over here looking for Indians. So when he came over here to North America, that's what they say. That, he looked at our brothers and sisters, man, in the tribe of Gad, and Ra'awabon was like, you know what? We'll call him Indian. You're not an Indian. You're not. Same thing with with our West Indian brothers. That term, like Indian, that's reserved for, Ayalum, the East Indian. That's the Indians. Brothers and sisters, man, our First Nation brothers and sisters of Gad and Reuben, that's your name. Gad and Ra'awabon. Gad, Ra'awabon, and even Manasseh, man. And which is heavy about it in the scriptures. Big shout out to priest and captain of 13,000, Shapar Napash, who's been, teaching the power of the history class. He's been going over he's been going into, the Joshua. When we were in the wilderness and we were coming into our land, and how the battle with Jericho occurred and we defeated them, with the Most High's help. And with the Most High, with the archangel Mayaka'ala in the Hebrew, that Manasseh, Gad, and Reuben, when they got out there to the land, out there, and saw that the land was good for cattle, they asked Moses and said, yo, man, can we have it? I believe it was half of Manasseh and all of Gad and Reuben. Oh, I'm too wild. And here's the thing. And which is so glorious, the brotherhood with that, they was able to get that land. And they continued to go and fight with us until the other tribes, we were able to get, into the other land, man. Because the Lord told us that all that we conquered and defeated was going to be ours, man. So that's special, what's going on, what happened with Manasseh, Gad, and Reuben, Ra'awabon in the Hebrew. Now, if I could, the card, put the next 3 up. We got 20 minutes. We're gonna get through it.
I could say, I remember having a homework assignment I was given, remember these tribes. I had to put it the right place there,
Most High Christ.
But, just like, really, man, it was something breathtaking, learning about each tribe and, how they was the real name of the tribe, man. I remember being in my head, I'd be at my slave, and I was around damn near all the 12 tribes, Haitians down to, Hispanics down to the stinking Africans, you know what I'm saying? I was around all. And, I remember like in my head, the school showing us how the names of the tribes and who they are, I remember just going around like, yeah, That's the youngin. That's my youngin boy right there. Oh, that's mommy. You know, that's my shot right there. Boy. I'm in that joint like, hey, and it makes us understand, like knowing these tribes. You know, is a part of us learning who we are. We don't know who the hell we are. You know what I'm saying? Who the hell do we think we are? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can walk around with no identity, like you just said earlier, son. Like, we referring to ourselves as Baptists and Muslims and Christians, where every other nation, you know, they can, you know, they're able to say, well, I'm Kenyan, I'm Liberian, you know? Like, we, the Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, the ones that's not, you know, desire.
Right.
You know, we the ones that suffer from not knowing who in the world we are, man. It's sad because, you know, for over 400 years, man, all the tribes, man, we've been beaten and wore down. You know what I mean? But right here, you know, we had me writing up, sir. This is, you know,
it's our identity. This is who we are. This is who we are as a people. It's like, you want to say something? You bring it out with heaven.
Where is she finished?
Who's done the I'm done. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I was going to say, that, like, nobody else, all the nations, no other nation cannot be a priest besides Israelites.
Right.
Born-blooded Israelites.
Right.
White men, the Chinese, the East Indians, the Pakistanis, none of them could ever be a priest.
Right.
Besides only the Israelites. So they're not like, you know, our people is in, you know, in these churches and all, in these Baptist churches and stuff like that. I don't need to.
Right. Most times, what you bringing out was heavy. You know, I mean, to reiterate what Officer Yada Khan was saying, if you're not Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian, if you're not on that 12 child chart, you can never be a priest. You can never be a priest. Never, ever. So, young man, you can give me Psalms 147 and start at verse 19. Psalms 147 and start at verse 19.
Like, I can never be a Chinese from the house of China. I can never be an East Indian.
I don't know if I could, sir. I don't know, sir. In America, it's, you know, you can do whatever you want to be.
Yeah, I know.
You got some Rachel Dole's eyes out here, sir. It was another devil. Damn, what was the name of that devil? A devil came out recently, and she worked for this school, this university, and she said she's been lying her entire life. She said she is the scum of the earth. She said she has been posing as a Black woman or an Afro-Latina woman for years. It just goes to show you. I was just looking at that, sir. See how much of a devil the oppressor is? Another Rachel goes out. Y'all know in the comments, let me know. I forget the devil's name. And I forget the university. But she said she's been lying. She would say that she's from St. Thomas, that she was Dominican, that she was, you know, a light-skinned sister, that she was Black. But the whole time she was, ironically, damn, not just a devil, she was an Amalekite. She's an Amalekite. She's a so-called Jew. Yeah. Just because she got that little fro. Do not get tripped up out here, Israel. Do not get tripped out. Give a shout out. Give a special shout out to Priest and Officer 500, Yashabai. Yashabai asked every sister what her father is. Yashabai started the conversation. Like, who your dad? Who your father is? That's Numbers 1 and 18. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
So you say Luke goes to, what I say, it goes to say, number those on you know, you gotta know those who, you know, who are amongst you.
Labor? Yeah, don't be that labor amongst you. Don't be that labor amongst you. You gotta know this.
So, you know.
We have to know this. You gotta be careful, man. You can get tripped up. Just because she got dark skin don't mean she is real. Kamala Harris is a devil. Tracy Ellis Ross is a devil.
If I could, skin color does matter in some way, but then it's all about the blood we come from. Because you can see a light skinned sister or light skinned brother, but they can come from But the bloodline can't be fooled by, you know.
Right, that's numbers 1 and 18. Look at Bob Marley.
Listen, I want to say which you, sir, because I remember you popped up on me and you was like, that's an African. That dude that you with the African. And I remember you told me that, and I was like, I'm like, I don't remember what you're talking about. And then one day I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, I'm like, what's he talking about? And that dude that you said that was an African, he was a damn right African. I was like, yo, he knows his stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
That was the Lord. That wasn't good.
even brothers in the school was like, hey, I was in the car, man, you know how to smell him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, mine was there too. You know, what's the one that played in Color Purple? The guy, the one that was with Seal. What's his name? He played in that movie Asher. It was like some type of
You talking about Danny Glover?
Danny Glover, yeah, that's him. He said that black people were Israelites. In that movie, he played Asher.
What's
The tribe of Asher. He played in that movie.
That's another thing too, man. Listen,
He came out.
we come in different shades. We come in different shades and sizes, man. Scriptures say that Israel was like a speckled bird, man. And speaking about Asher, you could be as dark as myself, obviously on the Quran, or you could be as light as the car. Big shout out to Prison Officer 1000, you know what I mean, Shaw, out there in New York. He's in the tribe of Asher. Now, Asher is from Colombia to Uganda. Yeah, Asher is from Colombia to Uganda. Now, here's the thing, too. Here's the thing to show you. The big thing with our brothers and sisters of Asher right now to show you that we are all suffering these same curses, man. Right now, the rainforest is being torn down and it's on fire because the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. No matter if the oppressor speaking English, French, Spanish, or Portuguese, he's still the devil.
Yeah, I know. Some brothers be like, yeah, you like some trouble and blah blah blah, but we all in this together. Like we wouldn't be suffering. We all of our tribes, we would not be suffering.
Right. Man, we all are going through it, man, at the hand of the oppressor, man. From Colombia to Uganda, our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Asher going through it. You know, that's Brazil, Colombia, Uruguay, that's all out there. But our brothers and sisters. And now we have Napatalia. I believe that's from Argentina to Chile. Yes, Argentina to Chile. Here's the thing. It just goes to show you. Just goes to show you, man, we are all going through it together. And our people are going through it right now. Going through it. They tearing the rainforest up, burning it to the ground. The oppressors over there in South America, they are lighting our brothers and sisters' land on fire. For what? So you can forget about Venezuela. Come on, Israel. I know I'm not the only one that know what's going down with Venezuela. Venezuela, man, the dollar crashed, the money don't mean nothing. And the United States, they trying to get in over there on our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Asher, man. They trying to move in on our people.
The main reason why they trying to move in on our brothers and sisters over there in Venezuela, you understand, because they got the most gas in the world. Second, damn near first or second to the Arabs. And it's so close to America. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to go all the way to our, you know what I mean, over there where Iran and all of that, they be like, man, it's right there. And the Venezuelans, you know, they're not trying to, you know what I mean, give out that gas, man. They're not trying to bend on that knee to our oppressors, man. So, you know, like, white man is the devil, everybody should be saying.
Damn right, he is the devil. It's easy to just go over there and take it from our brothers and sisters, man, of Asher and Napatalia. It's easy to just take it from them versus actually doing a business transaction with the Arabs. Why do that? Which goes to show you, man, that we all going through it together. Got Asher, Ashar, Napatalia, from Colombia to Uruguay, from Argentina to Chile. Now we got Issachar. Yashakar in the Hebrew. Now, the oppressor really is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Because our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Yashakar, this is how you know the oppressor is such a devil. When the COVID-19 hit, when the Most High sent that plague down, the oppressor decided to make it legal for our brothers and sisters to come home and work the fields and everything. But meanwhile, our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Issachar, Yashakar, they can't get those business grants that these other business and small business owners are getting. They can't get that. And here's the thing. Just because he told them to lay off of them, you think ICE slowed down? No. Recently, they lost over 1,500 of our Issacharite babies, man. List them as undocumented. And then sell them off into sex trafficking or to some homosexual couple. And then you'll send our brothers and sisters and their parents back to Mexico. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Right. And which is so heavy. Go ahead, please.
If I could, it's like sex trafficking is everywhere. Like, that's why, you know how they talk about R. Kelly? Mm-hmm. They had, like, you know, if you know, like, teenagers, right? If teenagers are kids, then how come you make older men go with the teenagers? Like, you can do what you want. Like, these people are sitting with babies.
They're doing that.
Like,
they're doing that. They are. It's
crazy, but when you do it, you gonna get punished right away because you.
We shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be doing that. Period. We shouldn't be doing that. Period. At all. What R. Kelly did was wrong, and that's another thing. And big shout out to Captain Zaria because nobody wants to bring out, you know what I mean, the molestation and the sex trafficking that go on in our own community. We got to cut that out. We got to cut that out. We cannot live like the oppressor. That's the thing that the oppressor does. For us to do it is wicked as hell, and the Most High is going to punish us for that.
I got Psalm 147:19.
Oh. I'll paraphrase this. You can actually get me Zeph slack. You know, read. Let's gonna go into what Officer Yanaquan was saying earlier about 10 minutes. Slack. Instead of reading that, brother, the answer, you know, what Officer Yanaquan was saying earlier. If you could, give me Zephaniah 3:9. Zephaniah 3:9. When Officer Yanaquan was saying, you know, a Chinese man or any other nation can't be Israel, they have to be of the 12 tribes. They have to be of the 12 tribes of Israel. Psalm 47 says, you know, that the Lord has not done so with any other nation.
Because you know, like the Mexicans. My mom was she was in the Catholic church too. Mm-hmm. But they go to the Catholic church and they say they got to talk to this man and say he's God and all that. No, he's not. Like, you know, that's insane. That's not true. He's not an Israelite priest. He's not even a priest at all. Nope. No other nation can be a priest besides the Israelite people. So, they just, you know.
And which is so heavy, right? I was talking about it, you know what I mean? That's a problem with our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters. We have a problem with Christianity. Well, Christianity and Catholicism is the same damn thing. Our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters struggle with that. As a matter of fact, I believe it's somewhere in South America where our Asherite brothers and sisters are, and our brothers and sisters of Napatalia. They got a big statue of Caesar Borgia. They have a big statue of the oppressor himself. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's in Brazil. They got a big statue of that pedophile Caesar Borgia standing like this. And that's how you know that the mark of the beast is Christianity. Christianity is the mark of the beast. It is. If you want to know what the mark of the beast is today, look at the Christian church. That is what the mark of the beast is.
Every religion is it's witchcraft to the Most High.
It is. Yeah. All that, the monotheism, the belief in one God, that's all Christianity. Yeah. It's all Christianity. And our brothers and sisters fall for that, man. Meanwhile, the oppressor can come and take it. Both sides right there. It's for us. It's to us. That's why our brothers and sisters, man, it's important for us to understand our heritage, man, and know who we are, man. Because our brothers and sisters, man, in the tribe of Issachar, Yashakar, Hebrew, we gonna do it. We gonna do it. As a people. They took 1,500 of our babies, man, and sold them into sex trafficking, and they list them as undocumented. And here's the thing, the theme that the oppressor used to come over here to this new world, to go into South America, to go into so-called North America, what they did to our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters, man, from Aquarius, Simeon, all the way down to Yashikar, Asher, Naphtaliah, the oppressor called that himself manifesting his own destiny. And according to the Most High, manifesting your destiny, oppressor, is rape, rob, and murder. That's what that is. But here's the thing. I brought this out for this reason. To understand who we are, man. Yahweh all the way down to Yashikar. To understand that this is our identity, that we come from the 12 tribes of Israel, man. That the Most High did not choose any other nation, paraphrase Psalm 147 verse 19. His statutes and their judgment, they have not known them. He gave that to Jacob, Yasha'Allah in the Hebrew, our forefathers. And the tribes, our forefathers right here, are Jacob's sons. And this is what's important about that. And I believe young man Adams is about to go into it. You got what I asked for in Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 9?
Yes, Zephaniah. And this is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pearl language.
I will turn to the people a what?
Pearl language.
A pure language. Oh, we. The Lord is saying, for I will turn to the people a pure language. Read on.
And that they may all call upon the name of the Lord to serve him with one consent.
Outside of Christ. To serve the Lord with one consent. The Lord is going to call us, to call my people, Israel, man, Yasha'Allah. We are the 12 tribes of Israel, black man, Hispanic man, and Indian man and woman. With one consent, one language, a pure language. And what is that language? That pure language is the Lashawan, Qadash, man, in Hebrew. Right. That's our language, man. And what our people need to understand, which is so heavy, this language is for us. It's ours. Our culture and our identity was taken away, man. Because we wanted to do what the heathen do. We cannot do what they do. You see what they did to our brother Jacob Blake. You see what they did to George Floyd, Vanessa Gilligan, man. You see what they did to Breonna Taylor. They continue to do this, man, because we are serving our power, our God. And we serving our God, we don't have to worry about that. The scriptures say the Lord will be an enemy unto thy enemies, man. Unto thy enemies. You know what that means? That the oppressor in these other wicked nations, the Lord is going to be an enemy unto them. That's why the Lord is saying that he is going to give us a pure language, man. You guys have one to bring out some?
Yeah, I heard on Zephaniah chapter 21.
Go ahead.
Let's say, oh nation, I desire, you know.
Oh, all nation like this. Most of our yeah, Zephaniah 2. Yeah, can you pull that for me, sir? Zephaniah verse 2 verse 1. I'll end it on that. Can you pull it with me in the car? We'll end it with that. Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. Unless you want to forget it. Okay, most of you already got it? Oh, Zephaniah 2 1? So we're going to end it with that. End it with that. I got it. Most High Christ. Go ahead, young man.
So this is the book of Zephaniah 2 verse 1.
Go ahead. You got it.
Gather yourself together.
It says, gather yourselves together. 12 tribes of Israel. You are black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. We are supposed to what? Read it again.
Gather yourself together.
Gather yourselves together. We need to gather together. Read on.
Yes. Gather together. O nation not desired.
Oh, nation not desired. We are not desired, black, Hispanic, Native American Indians. But you know who does desire you? The Most High Christ, Yahweh, desires you. Our King Yahweh Shai desires you. And the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under the command of Yahweh, we desire you. With that being said, I'm going to pass the class over. Priest and officer 500, the call.
So good classes again. Priest and officer Yedaya here. All right. You know what I mean? Before I say the announcement, make sure y'all tune into these keep tuning in. I mean, coming to class, definitely on these Fridays, you know what I'm saying? Come. Make sure y'all keep tuning in to these Hebrew classes. This is a part of our culture as well. We should be wanting to come back and let's bring our children into this, man. While they're young, still soaking up so much knowledge and understanding, and definitely we want our children to know who they are. Right. And part of them knowing who they are, they'll know the language, and they'll be able to speak fluently. Right. You know what I'm saying? But this is the ISUK security announcements. We are the ISUK, started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under command of General Yohana, rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister come into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. At the 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother and sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10. My Asherah, which means 10th in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation will be the memorial blowing the trumpets. All right, that'll be on a Thursday, September 17th. All right, you can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, 24 to 25. All right. Okay. Also, with the Passover, we still postpone due to COVID-19. You know what I mean? So just stay in tune with that with your camp leader. All right. Make sure you check the bulletin board in the hallway in the school. If anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, headband, or scarf. And with that, Amaju means a stand.
We'll go to the Lord's Prayer.
All right. Parapidom means to turn the face to the east. All right. When we pray, we put our hands up like this, brother. You know what I mean? And we're going to recite after me, all right? This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Qadash.
Qadash.
Hayat.
Hayat.
Shamkat.
Shamkat.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwaka.
Malakwaka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Hayat.
Hayat.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Bataratiza.
Baratiza.
Kawat.
Kawat.
Hayat.
Hayat.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Nathan.
Nathan.
Nathanael.
Nathanael.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalakinau.
Wasalakinau.
Kabawafnoanau.
Kabalakinau.
Kasalakinau.
Kasalakinau. Kasalaklanau.
Kawanahim Yanau.
Kabawak Yanau.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Avanau.
Tabayanau.
Basayawam.
Banasayawam.
Above.
Above.
Hawashayanau.
Hawashayanau.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kayat.
Kayat.
Lakab.
Lakab.
Hamalakwa.
Hamalak.
Wala'ala.
Wala'ala.
Wa'alpara.
Waldapara.
Lashawan,
Amen. Our Father,
our Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done
thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily
and
bread,
forgive us our debts
and give us our debt
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Sir, it's your turn. All right. Men of Israel, we're going to get one quick courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amagam Shabbat, Amagam, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatam, Yajmatah, his hands down. Sir, we're going to turn and face the sisters. All right. Men of Israel, we're going to get one quick courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amagam Shabbat, Amagam, Barak,
Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Yajmatah, dismiss.